Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of Allah. This year has been one of the toughest periods for Israel. The country has been relentlessly hit by unexpected natural disasters. Recently, Israel was shaken by a significant earthquake that caused widespread panic among Zionists, including in Tel Aviv. Many are beginning to wonder whether these disasters are some kind of warning related to the events in Gaza. Over the past few months, Israel has indeed faced various calamities: wildfires, sandstorms, floods, and now an earthquake. This earthquake struck on Tuesday night when most residents were preparing to sleep. Suddenly, their beds began to shake, household items trembled, and people quickly realized it was an earthquake. They hurriedly checked their phones to find out what was happening. The earthquake, measuring 6.3 on the Richter scale, was centered in the Mediterranean Sea, about 65 kilometers south of Athens and 16 kilometers from the city of Nuweiba in Sinai. Its tremors were felt across many regions in Israel, from Tel Aviv, Haifa, Jerusalem, Ramat Gan, to more than 16 other areas. Many residents reported that the shaking was quite strong, especially for those living in apartments or high-rise buildings. Some described the experience as a nightmare. Fortunately, there were no casualties, though fears of aftershocks continue to haunt many people. Coincidentally, this recent earthquake in Israel occurred shortly after the country's military launched airstrikes on the Khan Yunis area in Palestine, killing around 70 innocent civilians. Interestingly, those attacks were carried out at night, just like the timing of the earthquake. This has led many to question whether this could be considered karma for those military actions. Looking at history, Israel has experienced major earthquakes with devastating impacts. One of the worst occurred around 1033 and 1035 CE, with a magnitude reaching 7 on the scale. That earthquake struck the Jordan Valley, causing severe damage in the Levant region. It even triggered a tsunami that destroyed many buildings, including parts of the Jerusalem city walls and several churches. The Temple Mount, also known as the Mihrab of David near the Jaffa Gate, was also heavily damaged. That tragedy claimed around 70,000 lives, making it one of the deadliest natural disasters in the region. However, similar disasters have continued to haunt Israel. In 1927, for example, an earthquake measuring 6.3 on the Richter scale struck again, killing about 200 people and causing severe damage to hundreds of buildings. Clearly, Israel is an earthquake-prone region, and the risk of such disasters cannot be taken lightly. In 1951, another significant earthquake, measuring 5.9 on the Richter scale, struck at night. Its epicenter was in the eastern Mediterranean, and the tremors were so strong that they shook Israel's capital, causing widespread panic. 3 decades later, in early 1984, Israel experienced another powerful quake with a magnitude of 5.3. It caused power outages in various areas, damaged dozens of homes in Haifa, and left many residents terrified, some even choosing to evacuate. The epicenter was in the Mediterranean, about 40 kilometers west of the port city of Haifa, with effects felt as far as Beirut in northern Lebanon and Beersheba in southern Israel. The northern region of Israel was the most affected due to its proximity to the epicenter. Before that, in 1979, a 5.1 magnitude earthquake originating in the Dead Sea region shook a wide area from Tiberias in the north to Beersheba in the south, and even reached Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Then, in 2018, a 4.7 magnitude earthquake was recorded by the Israel Geophysical Institute. It struck around 5 a.m., with its epicenter just 14 kilometers from the city of Tiberias on the shores of the Sea of Galilee, at a depth of 2 kilometers. Northern Israel, including Haifa and Galilee, was the most affected, though aftershocks, albeit smaller, continued to cause unease among residents. Going back 17 years, in 2007, Israel was hit by a 4.4 magnitude earthquake originating in the Dead Sea region, considered one of the largest seismic events in the country in recent years. 8 years later, on July 30th, 2015, another quake struck, with its epicenter also in the Dead Sea and a magnitude of 4.2. The tremors were felt not only in Israel but also in Jordan. A few months earlier, earthquakes with magnitudes between 5.1 and 5.5 struck southern Israel, with their epicenter in the Sinai Peninsula. Although these quakes were significant, they were manageable and caused no fatalities. As the world witnesses the ongoing injustices in Palestinian territories, nature seems to be speaking as well. Shortly after a series of attacks on innocent civilians in Gaza, strong tremors were felt in Israel. The earthquake was not a singular event. It was followed by several aftershocks that heightened fear among residents. But what shook people even more was not just the cracked earth, but the deeper meaning behind these events. Many are starting to wonder whether this is a warning. These disasters are not occurring in just any place. They are shaking the land that has been used to oppress and strip others of their rights. Some scholars and spiritual figures have even stated that this is no ordinary earthquake. They call it the Earth's cry, a reaction from the universe to the decades-long oppression carried out by Zionist Israel. The earth itself seems to reject being trampled by the hands of oppressors. The land, which has been a stage for cruelty and occupation, is now trembling, as if trying to expel the arrogant steps that defile it. These tremors are not merely geological phenomena, but a symbol that the earth is fed up. It no longer wishes to support the feet of those who oppress, the hands that spill innocent blood, or the voices that silence the truth. For years, the Palestinian people have continued to pray, trapped amidst the rubble, raising their hands to the heavens, seeking justice. Perhaps this time, Allah has answered first. Perhaps the earth feels their wounds more deeply than the world leaders who remain silent. The earth moves not only because of tectonic plates, but because it can no longer bear the sins committed on its surface. As buildings collapse and fear engulfs Israel, one message rings clear: stop the oppression, or we, as part of this nature, will reject your existence. Will they heed this warning, or will they continue to defy nature as if they can control everything, including the very ground they walk on? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the earth is no longer silent. It sends a stern message through its cracks and tremors, declaring that it is tired of being a witness to oppression. As the ground continues to shake, the world falls silent. Perhaps this is not the end. Perhaps it is the beginning of a greater reckoning. For if even the earth can no longer bear the suffering inflicted upon it, then destruction is only a matter of time. The earth has spoken, and its voice is not to be taken lightly. It is a warning,